What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of He Said, She Said, and the Real. You are tuning in to our relationship podcast where we talk about friendships, relationships, situationships, how to just not go down with the ship. Okay. Um, Let me introduce my relationship misfits to you, and then there's Mr. Snowfella. Uh, So tonight I have my co-host with me. I got Camo Chick, I got Lucky, and I got Ben, Mr. Smokefella.
That's the
Oh,
Black Mamba tonight, please.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
Thank
I'm
you.
Black,
sorry.
Black
I'm
Mamba.
sorry. My bad. I got you. I got you, Mr. Black Mamba. So listen. I also want to shout out for those of you who do not know. He said, she said, and the real is also a blog. So for those of you who love to read, go check out our blog partners, Chase Wood, Tori Chanel, and Sean Gray. They also keep it real. We are going to keep it real, raw, and relevant tonight. We got a hot topic. Y'all guys have already been chiming in. So we gonna just jump right into it. Well, I guess I can see how y'all week was. How was y'all week?
But thanks for asking.
I know.
So far, so good. I mean, you just came right with it.
My bad.
All right. It's like,
Wow.
forget
Y'all
y'all.
feeling some kind of way already.
Well, especially seeing we up here in a damn blizzard.
Hey.
It's
Snow is
ridiculous
good
outside.
for the soul. Embrace your inner snowman. Embrace your inner
Listen,
Whose soul is good for?
y'all sent that mess here to Texas, and it's snowing in the desert. Y'all keep that up there with y'all. I moved here so I didn't have to be cold.
A little dust blowing around ain't gonna hurt y'all. That ain't nothing.
Thank you.
That ain't nothing.
Black
Thank
Mama,
you.
did you
Yes.
ring the bell.
I don't want to hear nothing about snow in Texas.
we 3 minutes into the show and you already did ring the
Man,
petty bell?
because you're going to sit there and compare Texas snow to Chicagoland snow.
We out
Stop
here.
it. As my man Sly would say, are you high?
We out here looking like Cole on Martin when he came to the door. Froze. Ridiculous outside right now.
Well, if we didn't have COVID-19, I was actually gonna have a snowball fight. So that's what I do when it snows.
Hey, and this is good snowball snow.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
good
I went
snowball.
out there and shoveled it today.
Yep.
So
That was
what's
part of-
up to our dope audience? I don't want to talk about snow anymore. That's depressing me. So what's up? We got RC in the house. We got Tia in the house. We got Lisa. Yes, snowy Tuesday everywhere.
Mhm.
We got Nunu. Yes. We got Vanessa. So what's up to our dope audience? So let's go ahead and talk about the top.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
Black man.
It
Yes.
looked like Lisa trying to get her gang to join in.
Don't worry
Right.
about Lisa. Lisa
Right.
is. We are happy
Lisa.
if she gets her people to join
Hey,
in,
Lefty,
No.
and I bet
Hey,
you they're
Lefty.
going to be on our side. Mhm.
Lefty, let's go. Because I see the women trying to gang up on us today.
They're not trying to
Oh.
gang up on
It's
you.
coming.
So,
It's
I ain't
coming.
worried about it. Come on, let's
I
go.
feel it.
normally on He Said, She Said is not normally a battle of the sexes, but tonight's topic is definitely one that is going to be a battle between the ladies and the
Mhm.
gentlemen. We are talking double standards, y'all. So I was listening to Kevin Hart and the Plastic Cup Boys, and they were talking about the fact that there is a double standard when it comes to people dating outside of their races. They said that if a black man dates outside of his race, he gets dragged. But when a woman dates outside of her race, we make excuses and we explain why she has to date outside of her race. So I am ready to get into this conversation with my co-host. Is it a double standard when it comes to interracial relationships in the Black community? Lucky,
How you gonna come to me first?
tag.
Tag. I'm in.
You
You
in?
got this deer in
Come on,
the headlight. Look.
Hey, come on and step in the ring, dog. Come and step in the
I'm
ring.
good. I'm good. Well, it's definitely a double standard. It's definitely a double standard. And I'm telling you, I'm one of them that plays into it. I don't mind seeing black dudes date white women, but it drives me crazy when I see a sister with a white man. It drives me absolutely nuts. I can't front.
Can you say why?
I have no reasonable explanation. It just bothers my soul.
It bothers your soul.
It
Huh?
bothers my soul. I don't know why. It just I don't know, man. It just bothers me. And
now that's an angle I wasn't prepared for.
I didn't think they were gonna come with that one.
And I have interracial nieces and nephews, but from my brother. But yeah, if my sister would have did it, I might have had an issue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So, and they're off.
And
let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
Camel chick. Do you believe that there is a double standard and that we give women allowances while we turn around and drag men for doing the same thing? What you think?
I don't know, but I think that what Lucky just said, no, I know. I think what Lucky just said actually gives a different spin on it, because it's the double standard is set in the fact that people don't enjoy seeing black women date outside their race, but they're comfortable with the black man dating outside of his race. So for me, I think, it goes back to way back when, it's generations and generations of people telling black women, don't date outside your race. It's not something for you. Black men, it was frowned upon, but you see it more often. So for me, I don't think about it. I don't think of it as a double standard. I think about it as what's socially acceptable. So it's socially acceptable for a black man to date outside his race. It's not socially acceptable for a black woman to date a white man. It's not. And case in point, he just actually gave us an example of that.
Listen,
I go black mama.
I'm a little crazy though. So
it is such a huge divide on this, because I think y'all got away from the question that she asked. Within the black race, men get drugged, women don't. It's such a huge divide on that, and y'all skipped over that so bad. And I get it. We
ain't skipping on it. We're gonna come back to it, because we're gonna tell you why y'all get dragged.
No, it ain't no whys to it or none of it. I don't want to hear the why this. Y'all drag a man through the dirt and y'all be jumping. Y'all get together, start a coalition, and start damn near riding.
Yep.
So listen. Let
it be a woman.
Yep.
And it
so
just
you really making the point. You really making the point. You really making the point that they brought up on the podcast I was listening to. So I was listening, like I said, to Kevin Hart, and they went in and they was like, and they were using Kamala Harris as an example. I think it's a poor example, but let's go with it. Okay. They simply said a woman in power who is married to a white man, and we all like, oh, what a beautiful family, look how good they look, da, 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 da. And they said if that had been in the reverse, and that was a black man who had just been made the first black VP, that he would have got dragged.
Well, wait a minute. Let's take that further. If Michelle Obama was white,
ooh,
what would Barack be looked at a little different?
Oh, he wouldn't have gotten
Barack would not be the celebrity. He would not be the celebrity that he is today.
He wouldn't have got in office.
Okay, so listen, I gotta make sure I keep our audience in this. So Stacy asked an amazing question. First of all, hey Stacy, is there a certain insecurity with black men that causes that reaction to what you just said, Lefty?
No, well, I'll let Ben answer.
Go ahead, Black Mama.
This goes deeper. This goes deeper, and this goes back to the slave mentality, where the white men were raping our sisters. So it goes way back. Yeah. So that mentality is that. That's why some individuals feel that way.
Which is why we as black women were we're told to shy away from dating outside of our race. That's why.
Right.
But the white woman was always put on the pedestal for our people. So black men automatically, and also goes into colorism in our community, is that the lighter that you were, the more socially acceptable and prettier you were. So to achieve a white woman was the ultimate. So not only did you go from, you didn't date a light-skinned sister, you just took it a step further and hit the white woman. So now you have the utopia, you have the American dream.
I think so. Vanessa brings up a great point to answer my original question. Men get dragged because in general, as soon as y'all become managers at Wendy's, y'all start falling for other races. Black women generally want a black man to grow and build with. We take care of black men.
Come on, Vanessa.
So I'm just saying, she said as soon as y'all get a little power, y'all like,
as soon as we get off for fries, huh?
Right. Y'all,
hey, well, Kanye forecast the future, and he did it.
And he did it.
As soon as he get on, leave your ass for a white girl.
And I didn't think he was gonna do it, and he did it.
He left little Savannah back home with the Deltas.
Yep.
And he went on to the Kardashians. Man, he did. I mean, it is what it is. But I think, so for me, I would say this, and aside from what I said earlier, but it does seem like, especially for women, when a black woman does it, she almost has this. She gets this victim kind of response, like black men then dogged you out and ran you to the white man type thing. But when black men were doing, especially early on, and I remember because my brother went through it. It's the stereotype is you too weak for sisters. You know, it was all type of stuff. That was the main thing. Like our only weak brothers date white women. So, I mean, this go real deep.
Mm-hmm. Love Bug, you about to hit him with that statement.
This go deep though.
So I want to say that I want to use y'all words against y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the reason why black men get dragged and women do not is to use your statement. We choose who we sleep with, but you choose who you marry. Women do not choose who they marry. We're asked.
True. Facts.
You guys are choosing black women other than black women to marry, and that creates.
You throw. I think you reaching. You reaching
for the score.
I'm reaching.
I'm not reaching. So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Let's use Selena Williams. So many people have dragged Selena for dating and marrying a white man. But y'all know y'all wasn't checked for Selena. Outside the fact that she had a nice booty.
You mean Serena? I'm like, who's she talking about?
Serena. I said Selena, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm talking about the Hispanic chick.
I knew where you were going.
Most black men described her as being manly, not being attractive in the face, not being so all of a sudden when she decided she was done trying to get you guys to see her value and worth, and she accepted the proposal of a man who asked her, now she a sellout. Now remember,
I ain't never heard that. I've never heard nobody talk about Serena.
No. She was called a sellout. They even said that she was bleaching her skin, that now she's wearing blonde hair in order to look more white because she with a white guy. Gotta check the
like woman talk. That sounds like woman talk, not men.
Did Tiger Woods catch flack too? Even though he don't claim us. But didn't Tiger Woods kind of catch flack when he did it too? So,
you know what? I'm kind of on the fence that I feel like we never saw Tiger as being black.
Yes, we did.
No. We tried to pull Tiger in, and Tiger was like,
No. He was like, I'm Asian. I'm Asian and black, and I.
One thing about black folks, we take what we want. You ain't gotta say you black, but he known as a black golfer.
Right.
Obama is the black president. Mariah Carey,
Tiger Woods, we don't want
Mariah
Brian
Carey
Gamble.
kind of back and forth. Halle Berry's black. We take what we want, so they black. Period.
I can tell you this about Tiger.
You with us.
Right.
Tiger's son is gonna be blacker than he is, and it's gonna kill him.
Okay. Back to the conversation at hand.
So yeah, I don't know though. I don't know if that's kind of a hard call. So look, it kind of depends. So for women, you all are gonna look at it. You all are gonna defend the woman. But here's the thing, though. We're not down here defending men who date white women. See, it sounds like you all go defensive and you all go try defending when black women do it. We're not defending brothers for doing it.
You can date whoever you choose to date. I am past that point that you have to date somebody within your race, whatever you choose to do if it floats your boat. Here's my problem. I think Tia just hit on it. I have a problem when you choose to date outside your race and then you disrespect the black woman. You tell us I don't date black women. Y'all are too much. Y'all are X, Y, and Z. This is why you don't date you. And so here's the thing. Black women were never raised to date outside our race. Our dating pool were men that were incarcerated, men that were probably gay, men that are married, and then you might have a small subset of men that are actually single that really want to date us. So our dating pool is much smaller. Men, y'all have the world. So not only did you have us, but you had every other culture that you could get to. We were not conditioned to do that. So by the time a black woman actually dates outside of her race, she has probably exhausted every option. She has gone through the mental and emotional context of how she's going to speak to this to her family. Like I remember growing up, my mother was like, you better not ever bring somebody that is not black in this house. I wish your motherfucker would. And the day my brother brought a white chick home and she was literally just somebody he worked with, my mother almost kicked the girl out the house. So it wasn't something that we were conditioned to do. But for men, it's not only that you choose to date outside your race, it's how you treat us when you do it. It's how you talk to us. Yes, sir.
Camo, that was all cute. Your diatribe that you just went on, that was just really cute. But
he used a big word. He used a big word.
You just went in talking about the devaluing of the black man. When you turn the record over, you singing the same song. Because we've exhausted this with the black man. You're devaluing the black man. So that's all you did was flip the record over
and telling you play our dating pool as black women. I'm just telling you the honest truth.
So how can the men can't say the same thing?
It's
looked at bad when a man says it, but when a woman said, "Oh, she's freeing herself, she's freeing her mind," but when a man says,
freeing her mind, I didn't say she was freeing her mind.
Keep in mind.
I didn't say that. You put words in my mouth.
I'm like you. I don't care who dates who and all of that stuff, but I'm just challenging your point as you saying that, or whoever put that comment up there about devaluing the black woman. It's the same thing when the woman says she fed up with the brothers and how they coming at her, how they cheating.
I didn't say that.
And they ain't working.
I didn't say we were tired of it. I'm saying that's our dating pool.
Yeah, I would call BS though. I'm gonna call
BS. What is our dating pool then?
Hold on. Name someone of power, a black woman who has chosen to date outside of her race or is in an interracial relationship. Name me one that has dogged brothers on her platform. Name me one woman, black woman, who has degraded and devalued the black man to justify her dating outside her race. Name me one person.
Okay. So now you want to get to the power. We're not on the power level.
Hold on.
Time
out. Give me a second. So then let's flip that switch. Like you said, let's flip the record over. How many black male celebrities, athletes, rappers have actively attacked black women while dating a Barbie on his arm? That is what creates
about 3 or 4.
You are 3 of this year.
Look what you just.
Wesley Snipes, Dennis Rodman. Who else? I think Kyrie Irving did it. Wasn't a lot.
You talk about rappers and athletes. You didn't say, the higher echelon that's super educated and all of that. Come
Let's
on.
talk about Tay Diggs. Let's talk. I mean, the list is there. There have been several black men who have physically come out and dogged us to justify their decision. Now, listen, that's what gets y'all dragged by us, is because instead of saying you love who you love, look, I want you to love who you love. I want us to get to a point. This is not a conversation in the black community. Because let me hit everybody with a statistic. We are not the ones, listen, we are not the ones that are interracially married. The number one ethnic group that intermarries is Hispanics.
Yep.
42% of them are in a relationship with someone that is a non-Hispanic. The second group, leading group, is Asians. So I want to be clear, it ain't us that's doing the most intermarrying, but it be us that complain and use it as the divide. So I would love to get to the point that this is not a problem for us. We are only 10%. Yeah, we only 10%.
So Nick,
the whole.
Nick, can I ask you a question?
Y'all make me drink.
Is it the fact that they are degrading women, or is it the fact that they communicated poorly when they getting shot after shot from women and they say the wrong thing and then it just goes viral?
So is it a strike back? A strike back.
Exactly.
So we don't strike back when y'all date down low and y'all.
Wait, what?
Wait, that you gotta fix
what
that.
What
you
say? Down low.
I'm going back to Camel Chick Pool. We dating gay men that's down low. We dating convicts. We dating cheaters. We dating serial baby daddies. We dating. I'm just trying to say, we also have reasons to strike back to y'all, but we don't, because we're not conditioned to do that. And I think that goes back to like the conversation.
You know why you don't strike back? You don't strike back because it's not made a huge event when the black woman is dating outside of a race like it is when a black man does it.
But
it's not a huge event. So we don't have to knuckle up. Hold on.
Wait,
y'all
Corey
have
named the woman.
Corey named the woman.
Right.
One.
She ain't black.
It's 3-1. We got 3. Y'all got 1.
But the thing is,
Wesley Snipes, Dennis Rodman, and some other idiot said it. I remember that.
Don't forget Tay Diggs. You were still in basketball. We didn't go to the other sport.
Right.
I forgot about Tay Diggs. My fault.
Y'all going crazy tonight because a man has to knuckle up and he got to battle and communicate with people coming at him. When women do it, nobody's coming at him. Men ain't coming at him. Nobody on her Instagram or whatever is like, girl, what are you doing? We don't do that.
I am pretty sure that Kamala Harris has had many conversations about why she dated a white man and why she's married to a white man. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't Ghost wife? She's not black, is she? Amari Hart?
Oh, she's white. Oh, yeah, she definitely white.
Yeah. Now, when people found that out, they went kind of crazy on him.
And she wasn't even a cute white.
He's beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
You absolutely right. He loves who he loves, and
he loves who he loves.
To the masses.
But remember, he was the black man of the year. The sisters was loving him. When that picture came out, he caught it.
Oh,
he caught it.
Thank you.
People talked about his wife. People talked about his wife so damn bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, so you know what is? I think this is one of them conversations where nobody's really wrong. So I mean, the battle is going to go on. I think it's about the same. I haven't heard anybody dog Eve. I haven't heard brothers.
Because Eve said bump y'all and she left the country and she do what she doing.
Now,
but let's get back to this
men don't change.
Eve married a billionaire, and y'all knew that y'all could not touch that. So it was hey,
it was like, I'm out.
She could have passed for the billionaire.
Nobody cared because her rap game was over with. She was on The View and all of that. Bye.
But Janet Jackson went outside already.
Lisa agreed. Ghost wife.
Janet is not seen as black. I mean, she's mainstream.
That's the example right there. She ain't cute. Look at y'all shame. Look at the women shaming her. For what?
We just said here's because you know what? This was also our thing because when we would look at who they dated.
Wait, that ain't got nothing to do with white people because y'all say Denzel's wife ain't cute either and she black. So like, come on
All
now.
us
Really?
beautiful.
Y'all don't think
Who,
All us
we don't
beautiful.
care.
Y'all know
All
y'all
us
talking
We
about
don't
it. So
care.
She's beautiful. What are you
I
talking about?
love me some Paula.
I would
Okay.
say I would love to get to the point that this is not a conversation in the community. I will say that it is a double standard, but I feel there are reasons
This
for the
conversation
double
happens in
standard.
the beauty shop more than it happens in the barber shop.
I mean, but I'm saying double standard. I still think it falls on both ends. Because like you said, I don't know, like the guys I'm around or the cigar shops I'm in, I haven't heard nobody dog Eve. I haven't heard nobody dog Serena. Maybe y'all read some blogs where it happened. Now, the part I don't like is, like I mentioned earlier, is that you all seem to give them the victim role. It's an explanation behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing it? It can't just be, oh, she met a white dude and fell in love. It got to be brothers. The dating pool is small and all this. It's a reason for it. And so I did a little homework myself.
Just now.
No.
Just now.
Earlier
now.
today.
You went did some research while we were talking.
I did a little homework myself.
Go ahead.
And it talked about how society, it's more integration now. Like we're living in the same neighborhoods now. It's like Chicago is very segregated.
Mm-hmm.
So you had like a kid from the South, a black kid from the South Side is probably less likely to date outside his race compared to a kid from up north where it's more diverse, right? Depending on what you raised around. Economically, we get in there where we can afford to live. And so if you raised around majority white women, then what you gonna date? And the same with black girls. It's always that little black girl that's hanging with a bunch of white girls. Who's she gonna end up dating? Right? And your demographics plays a big part in it.
Right.
Thank you, Tia. Professor this week.
Well,
I'll be Anna DC next week.
To speak to what you said, the statistics actually do show that black men marry more than twice as many times outside of their race than a black woman.
Yeah,
the prevalence is real. The prevalence is real that more black men will date outside of their race than a black woman would.
Mm. It also states that based on your education level, you're more likely to marry outside of your race. Now, what's interesting, but what's interesting is if you combine statistics where black women are the leading group, both in terms of white men and white women to gain degrees, but they are the least likely group of people to have a proposal.
Mm.
So what that is saying is that as black women get higher and higher, their dating pool becomes selective. And why is it that only 12% of black women are marrying outside of their race and more than 25% of black men are marrying? 2.62 times more likely to marry.
You answer that yourself because men decide if you're going to be a wife. You don't decide if a man's going to be a husband. So you said that yourself.
So why are you not choosing that?
It's two key things that was just said amongst us. Lefty referred to demographics, and Lovebug, you referred to education. The higher your education, the more you are around a diverse background. And he hit it on the head. Demographics. As you move up the education ladder, that means you're making more money and you are around a lot more ethnic backgrounds. So now your dating pool went from the south side of Chicago to a melting pot because you able to travel.
Not our dating pool.
Right.
I'm talking about black men.
Yeah.
Talking about black men. Now we travel, we seeing more different things. We travel in the world. So now our dating pool has just blossomed. Now, on the flip side, it's the same way with women. Your dating pool opens up. Now, women are a little more choicier than men are. Would you not say that? Once you get up to that higher echelon? Now they can pick and choose.
Now
Now they can even,
you know he's telling the truth. Stop.
We are not
choose
doing
for what?
so
Come on, man.
I want to bring up something that
that.
Martha said. Martha said the more you realize we're not all that different either. Listen, I really believe that the issue goes back to what Camo Chick said. It goes back to conditioning and culture. So yes, as we both rise, right, we all have more diverse dating pools. But I'm gonna tell y'all this story. I was buying a house. I still remember this dude name. His name was Tullio. He was the finest Italian man I have ever seen. He just a kiki kid and flirting, asked me out on a date. I shot him down faster than never even thought about it.
Why?
You know why? Because my father had a conversation with me he never had with his sons, which is you will marry a black man. That was the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And many black women will tell you that we are told by our black fathers that we will marry a black, because Lucky hit it on the head. He was not going to watch in his head his daughter become a modern day
Sarah
slave. Yeah, like it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna be somebody's trophy or fetish or something of that nature. Now,
these are some great comments we got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think we have to look at the fact of, like Tiffany said, it takes more unconditioning for black women to date outside of their race than it does for men. The only thing a woman gotta have is enough curves to make you feel like you with a sister and you okay with dating somebody that's not a sister. And I'm being real stereotypical, but I'm just saying.
Well, look, because TB touched on a point I was definitely getting ready to touch on. In my opinion, most black women grow up not seeing marriage because we call our women our baby mamas and not our wives. So that was something I was going to touch on too. Let's get a little controversial with it. And we've talked about it on this show in the past. Is marriage that prevalent in the black community anymore? Our family, our family values have gone down. We're okay. Like, have we just become okay with just, like TB said, being baby mamas and baby daddies and not being families? So maybe someone who still has those values, are real heavy on those values, may go somewhere else. I mean, we just don't know. And that's culture.
Right.
That's culture. And then people get mad when I talk about us destroying culture. The 55 last names, all this other nonsense. Don't know about it. Just, I mean, look at it. It happens more in the black community. It happens within us all the time. And now people don't want to be bothered with it. It's just like sisters who do date white men. Let's think about it. If the brothers ain't trying to get married, but you ask women to have your baby before you ask for to put a ring on her finger. So man, I can't blame a sister for going outside of it. Even though I don't like it.
But you just said that we typically always go to the victim role when we say we date outside of our race. But you just verified that most of the time it's because one of y'all ain't asked us. Vanessa hit it on the head.
Yeah. And I agree.
She hit it on the head. We want a black man.
Yes.
We want y'all. We want you guys.
I get it.
And the anger and the double standard and the dragging comes because we are not desired by you the same way that we desire y'all.
Right.
We would tell you in a minute. I will tell you, I live in El Paso. It's a lot of nice looking men here that are not black. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to have to translate my black experience to my partner every day.
So here's a question. Let me ask the ladies this. I would love y'all to answer this. Why do you think a black man dates a white one? Like why do you think he goes that route? Like what are some of the reasons?
When I was younger, I thought it was because they were easier.
Stereotype.
When I was younger, yeah, I think that was predominantly what I thought in my teens and my early 20s. Like, men just went after white women because they were easier. I also truly believe that for some black men, and I'm not going to say all, is that white women represent the cream of the crop. They represent perfection. They represent all that every man should desire to have. Like, that was what they went after. And that was always my thought. And in some cases I still believe that. I do know that there are some, yeah, Becky's. I think that there are some that are truly, and we're not, I think we're not really talking about those that are purely like we live around each other. It was purely like I met you, you met me. It was like spot on. We're talking about the black men that choose to say, I don't want to date a black woman. That's my problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I got you.
I think the honest statement is, and let me be forthcoming. So I can tell you right now that my nephews are interracial, right? My sister married a white man. So I'm not against interracial relationship, but what I am against is when
your dad allowed that?
No.
He had a conversation with you. So I mean, she just ignored it, huh?
Yeah, she was not here.
She loved who she loved. Period.
Well, that was her second marriage after the black one didn't work. Listen.
No, see, look, there you falling right into the trap.
To the stereotype.
No, I'm just saying, I'm saying that, you know, my dad at that age, at that point, he did not let me say there was beef around it. There was a lot of drama around it. It was not comfortable for them at all. And I mean, we can definitely trans into the difficulties of interracial relationships. But I really want to get into, I think there's a pain in the black community that is exasperated by interracial dating that nobody wants to talk about. And that pain goes back to, I think the reason you hear women so violently drag men and you don't hear men drag us is because of the hurt that is associated when you don't choose us.
Camo, you kind of hit on the head when you
that's a good point.
Your thoughts when you were younger, that they were easy. I won't say the easy thing, but I will say it's a bucket list when you're young. It's something new. It's something different. You know, you went to a public school and that's all you had was African Americans in there. Then you go to college and now you got a whole melting pot and it's something new. And then it's the same way for them because they grew up in all white schools and all of that. So now they're around some brothers and I just keep it real, culture vultures. Now they like our culture and it's like, ooh, now I can be with a brother, you know. So it just happens like that.
Well, we got some great comments, man. We're not getting to, man. We got to get on these comments.
Yeah. Scroll back up.
We got a bunch of some great ones.
Which one you want me to go to?
Who was it?
Who's that said it? Imani, she on here.
Mike said that he always dated a woman that he could relate to and find intellectually and fun, which is great. I mean, and I think that's what we all want is somebody, and it shouldn't matter what color, but I think for us it's just such a sore thumb. It sticks out. Status.
And you know what, I can give y'all I can understand the frustration and how y'all look at it like the black man's not choosing you. I get that. But I definitely like what TB brought up when you go back into like, are we demanding marriage? Not necessarily demanding, but are you setting standards and boundaries where marriage is the goal? I still feel like marriage, the whole family thing, the whole sanctuary of marriage is being destroyed in the black community. And so someone who still believes heavily in that, because I can tell you from where I've worked, worked in corporate America, worked for the state, all that, you never hear other races, especially females, talking about they don't care about getting married, what they don't care about. I done heard a lot of sisters say it. No, not dissing the sisters, but I done heard a lot of sisters say it. So, when you start talking, that mindset starts kicking in. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna definitely have these type of debates, and you're gonna have there are some very traditional men out here still. Black men, very traditional.
So I want to talk about. I love the fact that we talked about what was it that we thought made you guys date white women? Because I think that goes to the pain. So Nunu put they were more submissive, right? So instantly, what I think you guys don't get is we talked about this in my leadership mentor at work. Is like, as a Black woman, you are always, and I'm speaking for all of us, but I'm sure it doesn't apply to all of us. You're always trying to tone yourself down. You're always trying not to be aggressive or angry or that Black chick. So when you hear that white women are submissive, or that white women are easy, or that white women uh, that being with a white woman is a bucket list or a status, or I've arrived when I get one of them, you have to understand how Black women are internalizing that messaging, that we are not a status symbol, that
Right.
getting one of us does not mean anything, that
It just is.
we are not submissive. Even though we are nurturing, even though we hold you down, we get attacked for how we hold y'all down, whether it's we baby y'all too much, or we not submissive too much, we too independent, we too dependent, y'all don't want to marry us, we don't demand marriage. And it's like, if y'all choose who you marry, are you telling me the only reason why you're choosing a white woman to marry over a Black woman to marry is because the white woman demanded you do so?
No, that's just examples. We're not saying that's necessarily it, but we're saying it's certain standards.
The message.
It's standards, but it's certain standards that I set. That some women set. And there's some sisters who do it too. We ain't doing none of that, shacking up, none of that, not having your baby, none of that until you put a ring on. So I'm just saying that doesn't, and this we know what it is right now. We definitely know what it is right now.
Vanessa said, sisters say it because they know it most likely won't happen. That some of that is just a defense mechanism because you
speaking negativity into that, baby.
It has a lot to do with what Lucky said, demographics. When you see a interracial couple, whether it be Black man, Black woman, or the opposite, you have to know that person's story. Where are they hanging out? Where did they grow up? It has a lot to do with it. Yeah, it could have been a kid on the south side. Hold on, Camel. I know you finna come at me, but give me a second. Give me a second. Let me walk down the street for a second. Could have been on the south side of Chicago.
I don't want you to get too far down the block on me though, but go ahead.
And went to college, and then he educated himself, and now he hangs around more outside his race. That could be it. It's not always it's the athlete that got paper and then he just chose a white woman. That's not always the case. It's not.
It does happen a lot, though.
I'm gonna call BS, but I'm gonna let you I gotta go to the comments, but I'm gonna call BS, and I'm gonna come back to that because I went to a PWI and I saw it firsthand. Saw it. So let me tell
I did too.
That's BS. That one is BS. But let's get to the comments. So Stacy said, to what Lucky said earlier, that's because you've only listened to the sisters. Other women of other nationalities say it too.
I'm talking from my experience. I ain't only listen to sisters. I talk to everybody. I never hear it said. I never heard him say it.
Martha chimed in. Martha said, from what I've heard from men in all races, they choose to date outside their race because the women in their race is too confrontational, independent, etc. Now, I'm going to tell you, living in El Paso, Martha is spot on. I have heard lots of comments because, like I said, the number one interracial combination is a Hispanic with a non-Hispanic. But what was interesting about the statistics with that is that they equally marry outside of their race.
Men and women?
Yeah, men and women. It's about 42%. And it's split. So it's not like one is doing it more than the other. So
I think for us it's lopsided.
Ours is
Super
very
much so.
lopsided. If you look at the total pool of interracial marriages, 75% of them are African American males with white women versus 25% of interracial relationships is a black woman with a white male.
So
Oh,
next time you run those stats,
the audience is going tonight. Corey
Yes.
Scott got a
Okay,
great
so
comment.
so
We got to
wait,
get
so
on
let
that.
me get
Let's get on that.
next time you
Corey.
run them stats, run it down by state, please.
Okay.
Oh, if you want me to run it by state, the state that has the most interracial relationships and marriages is Hawaii. So if you like interracial relationships, more than
Go ahead.
70% of them
I can tell
is
you
in Hawaii. Go there.
Illinois. It's not Illinois.
Well, we know
It
that.
ain't Chicago. It don't count out the whole state.
Okay.
So let's go with Corey. Corey said we're still hurt from black women picking the white man over us, aka the government. So we gonna go there.
Hey, we starting to. Y'all
How we
asked
do
the
that
question.
though?
Y'all
How
asked
do
the
we do
question.
that
So
though?
y'all starting to get
I
answers.
need to understand how did we do that? Because black women have always been the fabric of the community. We stand behind our brothers, whether you left or you right, 360 degrees wrong. No,
Allegedly.
we do. We are.
Allegedly.
I gotta talk about that, and I know I'm a conspiracy theory, but I will absolutely say that we were active partners in the destruction of the black families in the late 60s when they introduced public housing, and in
Okay,
public
I'll give you
housing
that.
you could not have your significant other in there, and so we chose safety and security over trusting that our black men would be able to do what they needed to do. We thought we were making, but to defend us, I think we thought we were making the best decision for our
Right,
families,
families. Yeah.
considering that if you look at how the government definitely did this, they took jobs out of the black community. They took them off of bus lines. And then what they did is they offered you free housing in the community, but you couldn't afford to stay there and your man couldn't afford to drive. So they offered us TANF, they offered us food stamps, they offered us Medicaid and housing if we gave up our man. And what they did was they completely made it so the man could not take care of his family because he couldn't get to a job.
So
And
here's my thing. I'm gonna add a twist to that because I think that's only the first generation where the man actually agreed to this setup, meaning the black man agreed to participate in this little strategy to get the money. Now, every generation after that, we conditioned ourselves to actually stay on public aid. So that I think there's a difference. The first generation of men actually bought into this whole strategy. So what we can say we were both parts of that. We were both part. It just wasn't the black woman. First of all, the black woman didn't have that much stake in their household to make that full decision to say, okay, baby, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get on public aid, and then you go live over here, and then you had when they come and you Uncle Larry. But that was a shared decision.
Can we put up T Rich? Can we put up T Rich comment?
We got a bunch of great comments. A bunch
Wait,
of
yeah.
So okay, so I listen, Vanessa said, so you'll research new underground hip hop, but not seek out black women. Okay. Okay. Lisa hit on what I said. The white girls threw themselves at black football and popular dudes in college. I mean, through. Like, I stayed in a dorm where literally there were 4 black chicks on the floor, and they came to us for advice.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. What is this? What does he like? And I remember looking at her like, no, I'm not helping you. Go somewhere. And y'all fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
Infiltrate.
Please go to T Rich because T Rich is spot on.
Wait a minute. Diane said, I have brothers
brothers
who have stated that they date and marry white women because they're submissive, less intimidating. Yep.
Love it. Martha say, we love everybody. We love you too, Martha.
Yes.
Yeah, black women are too aggressive. Okay, we got Ralph who says, I'm Haitian. When I came here, I didn't look at race. I looked for a woman that could build and grow with me with the same level I'm on. So
Love
now
it.
that's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation to
Yeah.
talk about the fact that a lot of this is US bred,
Mm-hmm.
that other countries do not have the colorism and the racism in the same way that we have it here.
Not as big of a melting pot either, though.
Yeah.
That's
America's
true.
a melting pot. I would like to hear from people who've actually dated outside their race, black men and black women, and white women, whoever on here, Latino, I don't care, whatever it is. I want to hear from them. Give us some of y'all experiences. Go run down some of the stuff y'all, the reason you guys did it.
Mm-hmm.
Or why did you go that route?
I would love that. So listen, T. Rich said white chicks are almost athletes see in their faces at the game, after parties, etc. In the millionaire events, forget about it. Pink toes are there. Now that I gotta agree
That's true.
with.
Demographics. It's
True.
where it's what you're around, it's what
Mhm.
you see all the time. It's just like, you work so much, and a lot of people end up dating or marrying somebody that they work with. It's
Well, I
what you
don't
see
know
all
that.
the
I
time.
don't. I don't think it's just what you see. I think they have access. I think it is set
Mhm.
up that way. Their fathers are boosters. Their fathers are alumni. They're the
Right.
ones that are gonna get the
Exactly.
whereas
The front seat.
we all first generation college students. I didn't even know there was a booster club or an alumni club. I
Right.
get into those things, and so we're trying to figure out college when again they got the leg up because they this is what they do.
Mhm.
And see, it's a
Um,
lot of sisters that's not trying to be groupies.
yeah, I'm
Because
not.
it's
Right.
frowned upon in the
We're not.
hood. I don't be no groupie, and now you being but the other races, guess what? They out there with
And
them sugary
also,
compounds. They out
Right.
let's
there,
They
hey,
shaking it,
let's talk
shaking it,
about
shaking it.
conditioning.
Right.
Our big brother, our uncles, our daddies would have snatched us if they saw us. Oh, come here. Oh, you did a good job. I wish we would. We would get snatched. That is not prim and
Dragged.
proper. We would have got dragged. You have not been raised that way. You don't chase after some little boy. You ain't all in his face. Like it's conditioning. Corey, I got you. I already know how your man works. So
Hey, I
I
agree.
let
Hey,
you
I agree with Mario.
handle it.
That black women too aggressive thing is a bunch of BS.
It is.
I
please.
think that's
Okay,
the
listen.
weakest statement in the
Hey,
world.
my daddy is on. Daddy, can you please verify for people that you told me I was going to marry a black man? You may have rescinded and given up a little bit now, but growing up, I was definitely instructed like, you're not dating.
What you
I
not
wish
gonna
you
do
would.
is
What you're not gonna
right.
do is bring no pink toes home. Like, nah.
Tell them, cuz.
Wesley, right? Wesley put it out there. Agree. It's social economic.
Economic. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statistically, I mean, especially when you talk about sports, like who got the money to go to the games? Who has the season tickets? Who has the backstage passes? A lot of that is about where your money is. But I also think that part of that fabric is built into black men that in order for you to get to the best and being the best and you have arrived is that you got to get a white woman.
Woo,
Listen.
TB bought the
Wait.
heat. They bringing it today.
Wait.
I'm gonna let
I
the
gotta
audience
get.
have it. I'm a
I
fan
know.
of that.
Listen.
I'm gonna be a fan. I'm gonna sit back and be a fan.
Mario
Yes.
on this, and this is something I deal with my daughter here in El Paso. She comes home all the time, and she will tell me, "Ma, they don't think black girls are attractive.
Mm-hmm.
The black boys don't think that black girls are attractive."
Oh wow.
Period. And so I can tell you from living in McKinney, which is North Dallas, which is very diverse, but we still the minority. And then being here in El Paso, I have never felt more invisible. Never felt more invisible. Because let me just be honest, the Latino females down here, baby, they working it. I don't know if they going to get them booties. I don't know if that's in the food they eat, but they curves is smacking like mine. And I can tell you that I can tell you that it is a constant push to encourage my daughter that you're attractive and you're beautiful, even though like not only do the black dudes not stick with her, she already getting, bullied and picked on for being a black girl in a Hispanic area, but they would rather go with a Hispanic female than her. So like Mario, you hit on it. And it is not from a lack of example. Most of the young men that I know here are being raised by beautiful black women, but that's not what they want to date.
Well, is that like you said, conditioning from TV, from what we've been conditioned to think was beautiful? Oh, go ahead, Marie. Hey, Marie, been a minute.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go through the list because we got some good comments.
I'm gonna be a fan tonight. I'm gonna let the audience.
I know. We just gonna read.
Y'all just read. Y'all just gonna be a fan tonight.
I read Mike. You gonna?
Okay,
I
go
read
ahead.
Mike.
You got Mike.
I know some sexy, beautiful, mature white women that I didn't get into because of my family, and we still talk from time to time. And she still asks me, am I still a secret? My guys were cool, but the sisters were on my ass, and they didn't want nothing to do with me unless they thought or seen someone outside the area around too much. Yeah, dog.
Okay.
That's a true statement. True. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Wow.
Come on, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yep.
Lulu said something.
All right, we got Tandy. Men were in jail, many for longer periods than other races committing the same crime. So that goes back to
the dating pool.
Goes back to the dating pool. That goes back to the systematic destruction of the black family, where you snatch black men out. And so, I mean, come on. Thank you. I'm just saying that it is a conspiracy to destroy our black family. So I guess my dad is saying no, the black men in that era did not agree to it, but they were definitely put into a position where they couldn't say no to it either, right?
And he did also acknowledge the fact that he told you couldn't date outside your race. He did.
Oh yeah, I know. I never lie on Moselle. Y'all ain't seen my dad. Tia went to West Lafayette, Purdue University, baby. When I tell you all the black athletes you wanted and all the white Boilermaker alumni chicks all day. T. Rich. Other countries don't hate on brothers like the U.S. does. London, Brazil, they love brothers. Yeah, that's true.
That is
true.
That's why all the men be trying to make their trip down to Brazil, ladies.
Right? Look, Mario said black women is too aggressive. That's a cop out for the whack dudes. Give me the attitude because I'm man enough to handle it. Woo! If I didn't know you was married, I'd be like, "Yep, you finna be my
Evan, it seems funny. I've mentioned this in the past that we've taken like typical characteristics and made them into black, white, made them racial. Like there's some aggressive white women, there's some submissive black women.
Yes, Lord.
And we have turned it into this whole where only black women do this, only white women do this, and as me and a lot of guys can clearly say, there's a lot of easy black women too. So it wasn't just the white girls was easy. So I mean, it's all this whole, it gets crazy.
But you hit on something, and I do want to say this, and this is for a whole nother show about submissiveness. It is the man that will bring it out. I have been guilty of not being submissive with my ex-husband. He couldn't tell me nothing. And he would say to people, I can't tell her anything. I'm not listening to you. I don't know why I was that way with him, but I can tell you that since then, I have dated people that could sit me down with a look from across the room. It's the relationship. And I'm not talking about violent but I understood my boundaries. And I trusted that person enough to submit to them and let them lead. Submissiveness is rooted in trust.
Right.
I just want to say that for men. A woman who will not be submissive to you does not trust
you at all.
That's my free game for the night.
Yeah, maybe that white woman trusted him. Get off my brothers.
You got more power.
Yeah, maybe that white woman trusted him. How about that?
Now, Nunu said something great. I dated a white man because he approached me with confidence and asked me out. I went and he treated me great. Now, that's another thing.
She gave him a chance, though. She actually gave him a chance.
He shot his shot.
Right, he shot his shot.
Now, is it that white men are not as aggressive when they are attempting to date a sister as white women are when they go after a brother? Is that the difference?
I think they definitely more careful.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely more careful because one thing you don't want to look around and see a bunch of brothers on you, looking at you crazy because you all up in the sister face. You know what I'm saying? Like they are a little more careful how they approach.
Yeah.
Let us be at a hockey game chasing Kane and them. My family would snap. We can't. Yeah.
How about you go to a hockey game? Because when I went to a hockey game, trust me, the white sisters and the white men looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why are you even here? So
T-Rich, come on, T-Rich.
Drop the mic.
Come on, T-Rich.
White families send their daughters
and we gotta go
a missus.
Field goal.
Our mama sent us to get a BA or MBA. I drop the mic. That's the statement of the night right there.
Y'all know what I would love to do, and I don't know how we gonna find. I would love to find a white man that's willing to talk, that has dated outside of his race, that's willing to talk about it. Because I can only imagine, like, we talk about the white women, but the white men that date outside the race, I actually want to understand, like, what is it that they really go through to even do that? Because anyway. So we may need to search for that, y'all.
TB comment back to TB had a good one too.
Okay. No, okay. Again, most Black women are raised to be married to someone. Mothers are setting bad examples for relationships to lead to marriage. And see, I would debate, TB, that we're not being raised to get married. At this point, we are raised to be independent.
Talk about that all the time.
I can tell you my father did not raise me to be somebody's missus. He prepared me for a world that someone would not ask me to marry them and I could still prosper and make it. And that's the difference, is that because marriage is no longer the fabric that holds Black families together, families are raising their daughters different. So we are other cultures are still raising their children to be misses. And we're not raised that way. We are, and that just goes further into, again, my conspiracy of the more independent I am, the more aggressive I am, the more likely I'm not to be submissive, and the more likely I am to out-earn a Black male, further making me an optimal choice for him less and less. It's a conspiracy. Listen, Marie hit on it as well. I'm a little late with this. The second generation was not conditioned. It was, again, strategic because the women received free education that put her on another level, seeking men that are educated and financially capable. Those that did not continue to have more babies for more money because the other alternative was to make little money and have benefits reduced. In addition, drugs, war, and prison snatched the Black man. See, that's the conspiracy I'm talking about. That was a strategic move by the government. If you do not believe me, go and research it. Even down to our military men. There was a difference about the fact that most Black men who served in Vietnam were not aware of the benefits that they had. And therefore, they were not given the benefits. They didn't know about housing opportunities or educational opportunities until they were late in the game. I am a prime example of a child of a Vietnam vet who now sits with $90,000 worth of student loans because I had no idea that I could get my father's educational benefits and go to college. So let me see.
It's so many. I am enjoying the comments.
Listen,
I'm a fan.
They like this. They like this.
I'm a viewer. I'm a viewer today. I love it.
Shout out to Mom. She said she
Mom.
Conversation. Mario is in San Antonio. I'm in El Paso, so I understand.
More.
Look, see, my daddy said it. Stay in your race. That was his conversation.
That was his thing. Yeah, he was like, yeah,
Stay
that's
in
what I
your
told you.
race. Yeah.
But now, before we move on, because now with interracial dating, this is a lot more acceptable. A lot of that, and I love to ask Dad, is that mindset from your experiences, of what things that you've been through? Like my grandmother, my father's mother, was dead set against it. Like she hated it, and she never like broke down why. But I'm pretty sure it's the experiences that people went through back then.
Yeah.
That really made it like you bet not. You bet like it was a slap in the face.
Yeah. I mean, think about like Emmett Till and many other countless scenarios where Black boys were literally lynched for even looking in the direction of a white woman.
Exactly.
And
I know my dad is probably typing, but I will just tell you, I know it came from that. And I think we sometimes limit the things that happen to Emmett Till to the South. Even though my father was raised in Gary, Indiana, he vividly tells me a story of him being a young boy. And he did not know that he was not supposed to make eye contact with a white man. And because he did, he said those white men came back and looked his mother in the eye and said, beat him until I'm satisfied that he knows never to look me in the eye. And he said, my grandmother beat him until that white man told him she could stop. Yeah. And so that happened. That happened on Broadway in Gary, Indiana. And so absolutely when you've experienced that kind of hatred, the last thing you want is your daughter. To marry someone who in your mind is your oppressor. And I think we forget that segregation did not end until the late 60s. So many of our parents experience things that they probably don't even articulate to us.
And not even just your oppressor, but the fact that potentially a Black man could be dating a Black woman for the sole purpose to humiliate her. So I think that was also another reason why we were conditioned not to date outside of our races too. So I mean, it's so much, and I think we try to make light of it and crack the joke about Black men just dating outside their race, but there really are some things that have conditioned us in our culture. I'm like, what are we laughing about? In our culture, I'm like, was that funny? In our culture, that really speak to why we move the way that we move. Because see stories like that make me today want to smack a big stone.
And Maria's right. Segregation still exists, but it just looks different. It just looks different.
Well, Tiffany Denise Williams, Joe about to kick it off, but we're gonna get to that comment. She went at it.
Oh, nothing against, I'm gonna read hers because her name is Tiffany. Nothing against Hispanic or white women, but some Black men date outside of Black women because they don't know how to handle a strong, independent Black woman. There are some Hispanic and white women that will do whatever the man asks without question. And as you mentioned, they are raised to do for the man and don't ask no questions.
I'm sorry, Tiffany, but I gotta call BS on that because that's one of those
they too weak
folklores and men can't handle. I call BS on that because it's you do what you want to do and you handle what you want to handle. Okay, so it ain't got nothing to do with it's an independent woman thing.
Well, I think also the confusion is when people say they can't handle. Or a lot of guys just don't want to handle it. They don't feel like putting the energy into it to handle it. And I can see that. I ain't struggling with you about who wear the boxes in this house. We ain't going back and forth with that.
It's all about choices.
And because so many Black women are raised to be independent, we aren't really taught how to balance that, how to be submissive to a man, how to allow the man to lead. I mean, it's the reality. And I can only speak for myself. Is that it's a daily struggle for me, having been raised to be independent. Like I can go outside, change the flat. I can do all these things on my own because that's what my daddy raised me to do. But to have to learn how to coexist in a situation where your man may not be able to do that. And how do you empower him to do do these
You
things.
have to go back to what Tony Barber has been saying this entire show. It's a lot of people that have been raised in one parent households, and when you sometimes, not all the time, you miss out on certain life teachings. You do. It is what it is.
But what
Like
about those of us that have raised by both?
if you
So
raised by both, you have you get a higher chance of learning. If for a young man, if you are in a two-person household, you get to see how a mother and father, you know, interact with each other, and you learn that. Even though you're not trying to learn, it's what you're around.
But Nick hit it on the head, especially in the black culture. We're not raising our daughters to be wives.
we're not.
We don't raise our daughters to be wives, and I get why. I get why, but now we're starting to see the effects of that. I know people personally whose fathers, their mothers were damn near slaves to their fathers. I mean, slaves, and would tell them, "You better not ever let a man treat you like that, the way I treat your mother." So it is a condition. It's off, man. It's bad.
It's just like if you got a child that's raised in a house where there's a lot of abuse and all that. 80, damn near 90% of the time, that's what you turn into. Yeah, there's some situations where that you go the opposite way, but it's the demographic and how you raised stays with you whether you realize it or not.
So we got a question. It's way up there, so I can't find it. But let me just ask you this: Tia wants to know, has any one of the hosts dated outside of their race? I have not.
I have.
I haven't.
Lefty, the question is, it said dated.
Yeah, dated.
Smashed.
Yeah, I dated.
Smashed.
Yes, I dated.
There's a difference.
I dated a white girl.
I'm gonna be honest. I never dated.
I dated.
Smashed though. You smashed.
Okay, it's a difference.
I actually dated.
Okay, so Lucky dated and Mama smashed.
Right, but now let me ask you, Tiffany, because we are seeing statistics in action right here. Now let me just ask you this, Tiffany: have you ever slept with someone outside of your race?
Nope.
I have not either. So I just want to go there, that I've never slept with anybody other than a black man. Never. At 44.
So proud of y'all. I love y'all.
So
it's so funny because
I'm just joking.
Like no, but seriously though. So here's the thing. I remember in college there was this white guy, and I was like, "Dang, he's fine. I might need to give him." And I was so afraid because I could not imagine me having a conversation with my mother. Like, yeah, I let a white guy hit the draws. So like. But no, seriously, like he was such a nice guy, and I'm like, he was really cool. He hung out with all the black. He was a basketball player, so he was so cool.
You want to go home and say GTD to mama?
I don't know. Wait, hold on.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. That's my other cousin.
Wait, you bet not. Wait.
See what I'm saying?
Wait, is he our cousin?
He's on my mama's side.
Oh, he on that side. Okay.
Better not have.
I'm just saying, like I
okay, so now time out.
Yeah.
I want to see the statistics in action. Ladies and gentlemen, it is quite a few of us on here. If you have dated outside of your race, I want to see you put it in the comments. I want to see what the percentage is versus male to female, because I think it goes back to what we've been saying all night, that we are not conditioned to do it. And y'all are more likely.
Dated, everybody. Dated.
Not we're gonna do smash after this.
We'll do smash afterwards. I'm talking about dated.
Dated. Actually physically dated.
And so look, we already got it. Ralph, I've dated outside my race, and it was a great experience. Tandy said he's never dated. I don't think dating outside of our race is in our makeup for some black women.
I love the brothers.
T. Rich, of course, please define dating.
Went out, held hands.
Went out
to something.
It's something. Okay. Melissa said dated and married a Puerto Rican. We got D, who said that she had D has a grandmother who's right, an aunt that's right, and she has
that's one.
Sasha said no. Stacy said yes.
Okay, that's 2. Is somebody counting the men?
TB was married to a white woman. Yeah.
TB said he was married before.
Mm-hmm.
Imani said yes, white, Asian, and Indian. And because I know Imani, she also has a child with a white guy.
Rainbow Coalition, girl. Go ahead.
Rainbow Coalition.
Lisa, no. According
no, he's black.
Yeah, one drop makes you black.
Right, according to us, one drop makes you black. We're the dominant gene.
Gandhi
never,
said,
but I'm not against
I'm not against it. Wait, y'all going so fast. Miriam says yes.
Okay, that's 4 for the women.
Diane says I have.
That's 5.
Corey says I don't date. Corey. Okay, when you were dating, did you date anybody white? Oh, he makes me stupid.
And Andy better watch that skillet.
Marie dated, yes. Sex, no. I couldn't bring myself to let that inside of me.
Yeah.
Marie, you going deep. You let my secrets out. Okay.
That's deep.
Nate, I have.
Wow.
Does a couple of dates count as dated before we did the grown up?
I can't stand you.
I can't stand you, T-Rich.
Yes, T-Rich, yes. Yes.
Mike said yes. Wesley said yes. I have. Really no difference for me. Joey said nope.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, Joey? I ain't see you out there.
Cuz said we're for 3%. Update all.
He's in Washington, the state.
Oh, he's in Washington. Okay, see, I think.
Oh, the state of Washington. Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't have.
Yeah, definitely. My husband was Dominican and half black.
That's 7.
No, we already counted mine. Remember, I told you.
Oh, okay. We still at 6. Anybody count them in?
So then we got Tiffany said nope. Corey said nah. Nope. I knew the answer for Corey. Marie said she married a mutt.
Mutts don't count. He black.
One drop. Right. Okay, then yes, he rich.
Okay. Jerome, she called you a mutt.
Asada said no.
All right. So that's enough. I can't even keep up with all the comments. That was crazy. So what it looked like the audience was half and half. It actually looked like more men said no and more women had said yes.
I lost count.
Did you count the men? Because I only counted the women. I had 7 women.
We said no.
Listen, because see, you put that one caveat out there for the men and they out the game.
Okay, well, let's do this.
Dated and smashed.
Okay, let's do that. I said we're going to do that next. Can we do smashing? Smashing only. You ain't have to say.
If you went to an interracial college, more than likely you didn't smash something else.
Is that for the men?
I'm speaking for guys. I'm speaking for because as a kid from the South Side of Chicago, I was not around white people a lot. I was all black elementary school, all black high school. All my friends were black. All the tournaments I played in were all black. I wasn't around it. So, of course, you experiment, when you're finally around it. My first biggest interaction was my roommate was a white guy. When I got to school. I had never really spent any time around white people like that. So, yeah.
I would definitely say, again, coming from a predominantly black area, coming from Gary, going to a PWI. I mean, I was in culture shock. I can't tell you how many times I called my daddy, who, by the way, was a Black Panther. So when I tell you I grew up with a certain conditioning that maybe everybody else wasn't conditioned to. But yeah, I think Marie said it best. I think she dropped the mic. The thought of sleeping with a white guy requires a unconditioning that I have yet to achieve.
Yeah.
Hey, and the other side of it too, a lot of the same with, a lot of when white girls came to college, a lot of them, that was their first experience with a brother. We were targeted. I will admit, we were targeted. They wanted that black experience. For whatever reason. So yeah, it went down. Somebody said Hawk Smash. Who said Hawk Smash? Mark.
Jerome said he conquered the Pink Panther. I don't like you, Jerome.
Especially in college. Yeah. Like, but Ben mentioned it earlier. We you know, you finally around, you know, you're around something different.
Oh.
Tiffany just.
Now wait a minute.
You see
Wait a
what
minute, Tiffany.
you about to start a fight, girl.
Wait a minute, Tiffany. You're better than the black man. Go ahead on now.
Tiffany, just because your husband is not watching, don't get in trouble.
Go on now.
So maybe this is coming to something else, because I'm seeing a lot of women say that
they couldn't get past it.
What? They feet was always dirty.
What?
Listen, I think that's interesting that a lot of women dated but didn't necessarily smash. And I noticed that a lot of women didn't weigh in on the smashing part, but we weighed in on the dating part.
Yeah.
So I just
so it's cool. So it's cool for the free meal.
Wait a minute. Wait, T-Rich is on fire tonight.
There are parents on the show. We're not gonna be talking about showers and growers on the show.
Wow. Go on, put it up. Let's see what you see. I don't feel like screwing up.
Baby, I gotta say, baby, mine was amazing. He was a grower and not a shower.
He rich is too much. He rich is too much.
Stacey, why was dating outside your race interesting?
No. Pay attention to the movies. I always got dirty feet.
Well, I'm pretty sure Stacey typing, but for me, it was, I guess, similarities play a big role, you know, and if we can, you know, we can really get down, like, but we were so different. I mean, she was a white girl, like straight, never had collard greens, like, you know, and we were just too different. Like, it would be, some of our conversations, it'd be like, what does that mean? You know, and I'm just talking. I'm a city kid. You know, I'm just, you know, I'm talking maybe slang. And when after a while, it just became, I don't know, a little too much. I wasn't trying to bring her to my side. She wasn't trying to bring me to her side on that. So it would have never worked. So we stayed cool, though. It wasn't nothing bad. It was just like, all right, we dated and that was it.
I think that's my biggest fear, Damani, is the translation part. Like I said, having to translate the Black experience, having to explain the excitement of the inauguration, whether you liked Kamala or not. You know, you were just excited for the historical moment, the feelings of. I would tell you from a work perspective, I am it. There's no one on my team that looks like me. Above. Now I have people that look like me that report to me, but nobody peer wise, nobody above me looks like me. And it becomes difficult. And I say that all the time because I don't have any in the way for me. I don't have anybody that I can lay eyes on and say, okay, that's the way to do it. And it's not always easy to be the one that breaks the glass ceiling, you know. And so I just think that there's a lot of difficulties. And I'm gonna put another conspiracy out there. I think that a lot of times it is easier and more acceptable for it to be a Black woman first before it's a Black man. I hate to say that, but
first as far as what? I'm sorry, say that again.
I think that we're the easier. If it's going to be a Black person, it's easier for it to be a woman.
Yeah.
Because Black men are still looked at and demonized in such a way. And so I think we as Black women have to be very conscious of the fact that we got to make sure we're wielding our Black girl magic appropriately and that we're not knocking our Black men out while we are moving up, because strategically that has been used before where they elevate Black women so much and they create this gap between Black women and Black men. And guess what? You guys start to date white across, right? Because you can find women that will marry you at the level you're at, but we're not going to find husbands. And so then what happens? You have Black women who aren't raising Black families. They either are not having children, not dating, or they're gay.
I'm gonna tell you this: being an athlete all my life in grammar school, high school, college, you know, there is a certain fear for black men crossing over because I know I got buddies that soon as they got to college, they try to cross over and dip and see what it was like. And guess what? They was on that first bus because somebody cried rape once somebody found out. When the masses found out, now that person was like, no, he took it from me. So it was a fear factor, for some individuals about crossing over. And that fear was real because you worked all your life to get to college and then for it all crumbling down just for the pink toe. It's a certain fear out there. Now it's ones that's out there that just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go in 2 feet in, but it's a fear factor out there.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much this day and age. Not so much this day and age because it's a melting pot around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Stacey
broke it down. She said, now let's start with what her first response. He treated her completely different than a black man. Super attentive, appreciative of just being in her presence. But the reality was it didn't work because it's instilled in her to be more attractive to a black man. I wasn't attracted to him like I typically am a black man. But I love what T. Rich said. Piggybacking off of what Stacey said, there's a difference between dating an Adam Sandler and an Adam Levine. And now I agree. Now I think, the ones that got a swag, or like you guys talked about, the ones that were raised with us that, and I will say this, that I don't have to translate my black experience. He may not experience it, but he's aware of it. He's been around it enough. They are more attractive. They got a little swag.
Well, I think what Stacey says probably a lot of reasons, and that's probably part of mine too. You conditioned to be attracted to. I mean, I still just I like sisters, like period.
Diane said the same thing. When I dated a white guy, there was a difference regarding life perspective, goals, education. Conversation was always let me explain my black experience.
Too much work.
Much work. Yeah. I have a question, and it can be answered by the audience or it can be answered by the guest. So my question is, in reality, everything I think we've talked about from beginning to end is true, and I think we definitely know that there is a double standard. I think we definitely know that there probably is some reasons why there are issues with dating. But what's the solution? Like, what can change? What can we do? Because one thing I'm noticing is that it's becoming more and more acceptable in the children that we are rearing to date whoever they want to date. And we are more accepting, I think, than our parents, right? So we are seeing growth in that. But what happens to us, this generation right here that's stuck between the pain of our parents and the promise of our future kids? What do we do with dating?
We will forever be the same. It ain't no changing us. It's too late in the game to change. And with media, TV, movies, music, and all of that stuff is acceptable now. So this generation will see things a whole lot different from us because they are so far removed from what we know from our parents and so forth. So our generation is just going to be the way it is. It ain't no changing it. And ain't no right or wrong answer with it. It's just is what it is. That's just my thoughts.
I think you just got to dive in, but don't dive in just to say just for an experience. Like especially like at our age, like if you're someone that treats you good, you feel like you're attracted to, don't let the race thing kill it. But but we're definitely too old to be on some old. Well, let me just try to date a white dude just to see what happens. Let me just try to date a white girl.
I can't say that for the women. I think the women. I think it's a different experience for the women that you're hearing. Let me just tell you what me and Tiffany was talking about backstage. For y'all came on. It's like we at the point where we like, why not? We at the point where our parents are not going to kill us. They're not gonna like it, but they won't kill it. Like now, it's like, well, you need to find you a husband. So now it's like
Hey,
you ain't in
hey,
your 20s, like you
Girl, is
can't be a
it breathing?
selector.
hey,
Right, is
little
he
bug.
breathing? Yeah.
Your daddy still gonna put hands on you, so just stop it.
No, you know what? My daddy acknowledged it afterwards that Tulio didn't meet the bill because Tulio was Italian.
So
And
you could have
right.
possibly.
But
Well,
I
some of that,
translated that wrong. He said, stay in my race, date my race. Don't bring nobody home. Tulio didn't look like me, so I wasn't bringing him home. And after the fact, he told me it was okay, but then it was too late.
Yeah.
and the big difference is, and I think it's
You
like
still got your number?
Nope, I
it's a
tried.
lot easier now because
Let's look
we
him
are
up on
we are
Facebook.
quicker to integrate in black and white neighborhoods. We're quicker to move in. We do it for whether it's for whatever better schooling, where you work. So it's a lot more common now. So the kids today they're around. My son's in Iowa. You know what I mean? So his
Oh,
experience,
it's all over in Iowa.
yes, his
Yeah.
experience was a whole lot different. So
Now, the only thing that I want to say, a lot of us say choose love. A lot of us say choose don't see color. The only thing that I would say raising a beautiful black young lady is make sure your sons choose love and not color, because a lot of our younger children are choosing color and it just ain't their color.
Right.
But
Yeah.
see, the
And
thing
so
is,
I think
you
we
can't
have to
listen
look at
to
that too.
all these outside. If it's love, it's love. Don't listen to the friend over here or the friend over here saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do this because of this." Love is love. Period.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we have to, and especially with our girls, is to remind them that beauty comes in all shades. Because oftentimes we do not feel like we are beautiful based on what color we are. So I think that's one part that we need to make sure that we enforce, not only with our little girls, but our little boys. But then also for us in this generation, we need to continue to have those conversations, these types of conversations, no matter how uncomfortable it is. We need to have these conversations about the why. And how can we move past it? Like, I'm sitting here like, man, do we need to have some sort of experiment where we try to date outside our race? Like, I don't know what the solution is, but I do know having conversations like this brings about some better understanding for both sides. So I think that's where we need to do that. We may not ever repair the damage that has been done on both sides, but I think for the sake of our children and our future generations,
it's not no man. We would never repair that.
we will never repair that. But I think for our future generations, we need to set the standard that love, like you said, love who you love, but understand that just because you choose somebody in this race does not negate the beautifulness and the realness and the fact that somebody in another race or your race is also enough. I think that's what we need to do.
Exactly.
Hey,
I agree with that. But can
hey,
we just
Tulio,
laugh for a minute?
if you out there,
Wait a minute, I found a
before
Tulio though. I went and looked. There's a Tulio. What's his last name, girl? Do you
I
know?
don't remember, girl. We
Are
talking about
y'all Facebook talking?
I
look,
yes,
look, I
yes.
just want to laugh. I just want to giggle and lighten the mood a little bit. Jerome, I think our grandparents knew each other. If she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. That is the stuff. Yes.
that was a real statement.
Asada's statement is strong.
Asada's statement is strong too. Keep dating outside your race, making babies, and we will be extinct.
Yeah.
I will say that according to the statistics, 7 out of 10 babies that are being born now are multi-racial babies. And Mario said security. I would definitely say yes.
Get them sweets.
Bars.
Look,
Dating.
all
Don't
I
beg
would
for the
say
scoreboard,
is,
baby.
at the end of the day, I love my black men. I am unapologetic about it. And it has to
Absolutely.
be a very amazing man that is non-black.
But I
That
found Tulio though. I found Tulio. You got a nice little tattoo.
You're probably married with 9 kids. Leave that man alone. You being a home wrecker.
all I'm saying is, at
You
the
ready
end of the
now,
day,
Tulio?
I love my black men. I
Well,
want to marry someone who looks like my
so
father.
so
And
let's
I'm unapologetic about it.
so as parents, and I know there's plenty of parents on here. I think what mother wouldn't prefer her son to bring home a woman that looks like her, and the same with a father. You know what father wouldn't prefer his daughter to bring home, somebody that looks like him, of course. Say the black man lips do it for me.
Y'all sexy. I ain't gonna lie. Black men are sexy. Y'all are dope. They broke the mold with y'all. I just saying, they broke the mold with y'all. Light, bright, dark as night. I don't care as long as y'all black. I just any shade in between. I love my black man, and I think the pain that has to heal between black men and black women, and so that we don't spill this over into our children, is just to understand you can love who you love, but make sure you still love your black woman the same way that we stand up and say we love and support y'all. Y'all can experiment all day, but home is home. So make sure that y'all love home even when y'all go out there. Just make sure. And I would love, and let me just put this out here, and it may never happen. I would love for my black men to immediately check those black men that come at black women about us being aggressive and messy and ghetto and not polished and non-submissive.
Right.
I would love for you guys to start checking them and say, I don't know the kind of black women you date, but clearly you don't know how to find good black women, and that's your fault. That's not the black woman's fault. Oh, yes, a side of a bow leg.
This conversation with the lips and bow legs.
I don't know if y'all watched Ready to Love, but there was this one episode where they went to go get him, what's his name? Because her sister had died. He was walking down the little thing, and I was like, oh my God, he bow-legged. Like his sexy meter went up like yeah, my bad. Distracted.
Oh my God.
All involved.
Look at LeBron Jones, his last comment.
What did he say? I was non-negotiable with my mom. Black. Well, I'm glad to know it wasn't just black fathers. I'm glad to know that it was some.
I know a lot of
mothers.
A lot of mothers didn't play that.
If she don't look like me, don't bring her home.
But it is more likely now. With more, economically, we can afford to live in the same neighborhoods. Now, just not. It's not just all the blacks in this corner and all we all in the corner together. We ain't spread out. So you got some experiences.
See, Nunu saw it too. You saw him walking down there. I was like, oh, he got some swag.
We back on the bow-legged, bro. Oh man.
Well, we can go to Tracy said maybe it's time to start swiping right when I see white.
Oh, what? Bars. Those are bars.
Bars.
That was bars. Those are bars. What can you say?
Marie and Jerome is like they have.
So do you all feel the same way about when we spoke about color struck?
Yes.
Do you all feel the same way about color struck, men and women? So let's for our last few minutes, let's give a little opinion on that because it's real close. Because I was accused of being color struck.
You talk about the paper bag?
Light bright, dark,
light bright.
Yeah.
You know what? So let me just bring up, since we talking, and see, Vanessa is with me. So I know I got some people who watch the show, Tommy's dating show, right? And it's called Ready to Love. For those of you, it's on OWN. So shout out to the dope cast.
They're gonna start paying for advertising. I tell you that.
Me too. I know that's right. So I just want to say, like, one of the things that came out was there was a lady on there that called one of the guys narcissistic because he was light skinned, he was bald, he was in a fraternity, and Tommy took it very personal because he also is in a fraternity, light skinned, bald, and he's like, why does that make us narcissistic, right? She was, of course, a dark-skinned young lady.
And she wasn't being trouble.
Right. And so I can tell you from my experience growing up as a light skin, I can't tell you how many times you think you cute, you think you all that. And it's like, man, like I don't, like you do. Like I didn't think I was all that. I didn't think I was cute. And I would love to get to the point where we don't see color.
And we're gonna stop disrespecting the light-skinned guys in these comments because I'm starting to get offended. We went out in the 80s.
Did you see the reunion show? No, we need to have a
went out in the 80s.
First though, we need to have a whole conversation about Ready to Love, because the reunion show that happened was crazy, like legit crazy. But anyway,
bring it on back.
Come on back. I'm like, what we talking
about? Marie said light skin went out in the 80s with I'll Be Sure.
I'll Be Sure.
Yeah.
Asada said, I don't like
Christopher Williams.
Redbone. I'm with you, Asada.
When Nino Brown stabbed Christopher Williams, it was over with for light skin.
Don't let D baby hear that Redbone. D go crazy.
Yeah.
She hates. But don't we do it? We do it amongst ourselves too, even in especially in the Greek world. I remember, all the light skinned girls, they was gonna be AKAs. The light skinned brothers was already deemed as Kappas.
Yeah,
like, out the gate. So we, as much as we hate, stereotypes and racism, we do it just probably not to the extent. But we do it. We do it all the time.
I think we do it more. I mean, honestly, because we come in so many different shades, but again, we were taught that lighter was better in some cases, but which is why you find that a lot of darker sisters would also have a lot of issues around color. So,
Marie said you're gonna need to.
I'm an AKA, and I will admit that back in the 60s and the 50s, they would put the paper bag up, and if you were darker than the paper bag, you couldn't come in. Like that's real. It's who we are. I mean, there are certain.
Hey, don't get whooped by the AKAs come out your house.
It wasn't nothing bad. I didn't mean nothing
bad. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it was a stereotype. It's a stereotype. I mean, I even got it when I first became an AKA, and I think I'm kind of fair skinned. Was like, you too dark to be an AKA.
You gonna get a snowball to the dome when you walk out the house.
But even the movie School Days.
I was thinking School Days. School Days was perfect.
That was reality.
It was reality. It's reality. Yeah. I mean, it's such a stereotype. And then when you realize that there's so many in all the different organizations that debunk the stereotype of who they are, right? I mean, there are other stereotypes we can talk about, but that's not the nature of the show. So, we literally, like, I remember like my early Greek years, like I would only date light-skinned guys. Like, matter of fact, there was an organization, like if you said you in that organization, I just would not date you at all. Like I wouldn't even bother talking to you. Now it's like, I prefer them. But anyway,
but I think to just bring that back around to like what we were talking about earlier, I think a lot of times we are, like, for me, it took me years to wear my natural hair. Yep. Like I would never wear my natural curls.
Me too.
I can just tell you
really
that I need Black Jesus up here. I would tell you that a lot of times I got beef for like wearing the weave, because I used to like my weave, and it was like, oh, you trying to be white. You wearing European hair. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be white. But if that's what, I'm not saying that was what my intentions was, but if that's the standard of beauty that you're seeing, and if you going back to what we talked about earlier, if that's what you're seeing men that you would like to be chosen by choose, then why do you attack Black women for following the standard of beauty that you're choosing and defining as beautiful?
And let's be clear, some of us just started loving our Black hair because of this pandemic and we couldn't get our hair done. So, but the reality is that was it. The weave industry took off because that was the standard of beauty. You had to have this long, straight hair. And actually, my hair is very long. I just choose to wear it curly at this point. But again,
that shrinkage is real.
Shrinkage is real. I mean, but really, it was always your hair got to be straight. So God forbid you go outside, humidity hit, and your hair is like this. It's like, oh my gosh, you're no longer beautiful. So in order to fit in certain places, you had to have weave. You had to have straight hair. Your hair had to be curled. But yeah,
your hair could be down to your back, or it could look like Kevin Durant's. We love our sisters.
Hold on. You're not going to Kevin Durant now, bro. You gonna stop right there now.
Kevin Durant, you got a Kevin Durant joint going on. We love our sisters.
No, but I mean, there are some people that I know won't date darker.
He need a hot brush.
black people. You ignorant. They won't date darker black people, or they won't date light black people.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody, your preference is your preference, right? Whatever that is. So it truly, it's interesting how the older you get, what that preference is when it comes to terms of shade, like what you're automatically attracted to.
Right.
LeBron said, I ain't going with you.
So would people stop making crazy statements like the Wesley Snipes and them made if they weren't demonized for their choices?
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of feel like they got to defend themselves, and they end up saying something offensive to all black women, or saying something stupid. Because you know how it is. You get your back against the wall, you come out swinging.
Yeah. Well, they can have Wesley tonight. It's okay. They can have Wesley. He's a woman beater. They can have him. It's okay.
Yeah, Wesley ugly, so I don't even know why we even like. But
it's okay.
But I just got a picture for you, Lucky. I believe it's a picture of you from back in the day.
Stoney Jackson. You hit me with the Stoney. I ain't never had a curl no more.
First up, let me just tell y'all, I used to love me some Stoney Jackson. Y'all not gonna pretend like Stoney Jackson was not.
Oh, back in the 80s, if you had a curl, and the long curl, let me tell y'all, this little
I hated how this thing smelled. I hated the smell.
That long curl. Oh my gosh, you were it. You were it.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I had one. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Did you have a pro count or did you have a long one?
Man, I had it in, matter of fact, I kind of had like a little shag piece to it too. I thought I was doing it.
He had a curl mullet.
Wait, hold on.
I was Ray Parker Jr. My sister will tell you I was Ray Parker Jr.
Never.
Hold on. I gotta hit my boo Nate comment because I think it sums up what you was trying to say. Nate light skin, and he said I had to fight my way out of many a situation because of my light skinnedness. Dudes would be pissed if some light skinned dude took his woman. Now him come me walking down the street. Dude just fits in all light skinned brothers, and now I got a problem.
Facts. If you had a curl, raise your hand in the comments.
First up, I was bougie. I didn't have a curl. I had a wave nouveau. Okay, it's a little different.
It was a bougie curl.
Sorry, a curl is a curl.
A curl is a curl.
Yeah,
messing up everybody's furniture. My mama put plastic on the furniture so we could mess it up.
Fellas, wait, I got a question for my guys still on here. Have you ever slow danced with a girl with a curl and it get all on your face?
Oh
my God, that was terrible. I hated that.
I can't.
They don't slow dance no more, so they ain't got to worry about that now.
Oh my God, that's how.
Guess what?
No, we be like body, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that's what they doing right now.
You still trying to smash?
You ever got something activated in your mouth on accident?
Like,
I love it when Nate, he just like, nothing. He just steady.
I'm just saying, that curl was something else, man. Oh my gosh, she put up a story action on me. I cannot believe it. I owe you one. Hey, we didn't talk about. I wonder if Diana Ross caught a lot of flack. I never really heard. Because Diana Ross was dating white dudes, like she popping babies out there.
Diana was dating everybody, dog.
I mean, she was
a home wrecker.
Man,
had all sorts of things going on.
She was cool. I was better than everybody.
She had the Jerry curl.
Hey, so we gotta talk next week. We gotta talk about it before we.
Okay, so before everybody leaves us, we are doing something new and exciting and fun next week. So I want to make sure you guys tune in. I know you know about our infamous hot seat, but we're doing hot seat totally different. We're actually going to play the game hot seat. So next week we will be having our very first He Said, She Said, and the Real game night. We not talking, we playing. So come with nothing but giggles and laughs. We did serious today.
And we
We
playing
did.
for shots. Everybody gotta have your cups on your thing. We
They
playing.
playing for shots. Some of us have jobs that we have to report
I
to
don't care. Go
on
to work.
Wednesday morning. I'm taking shots of coffee because my daddy is on here.
We get off. We get off at 9 o'clock. You got enough time to go to bed, sleep it off. Don't lose. You don't got to drink. And
Right.
post your pictures in the HSS group of you doing your shot to people we can't see. And anybody want to be on, send Nicole a thing. We get you on the screen. We need a couple more people on the screen.
Right. So if you want to play, thank you, Nunu, on a Tuesday. If you want to play, physically be on the screen with us and play with us, make sure that you hit us in the DM. We will send you a link and you will be a guest on our game show. Just know that we are absolutely going to have fun and participate. So y'all tune in for our first ever HSSS game night.
Right.
And I'm with Nate. I do Pepsi. I don't do Coke. But
I'm calling in sick that night because that game ain't no joke.
I said, have a cigar. Yeah, that game almost made us miss New Year's.
yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and close us out. We didn't hit our 2 hours, which I don't know how this became a standard that this is a 2-hour show, but whatever. So Lucky, I'm gonna kick it to you first again. Go ahead and sign us out for the night.
Hey, I was a fan today, man. You guys, the comments were great. You guys participated. Thanks for sharing your experiences with us. You know, we do have fun, but we did get into some serious stuff today, and that will, that's the norm. We're gonna have some weeks we just don't have a ball, then we're gonna have some weeks we're gonna get into some serious stuff, some stuff we can pass down to our kids and maybe learn them a little something, as the old folks say, learn them something.
Learn them a little something.
Learn a little something.
Learn them something. But but man, keep your options open, man. Love is love. I love those comments people were making. Forget color. Whoever love you, you love them back. Keep it moving. Peace.
All right, Camo Chick, go ahead and sign us out.
Man, this was awesome, y'all. Like, for real though, this is a great night. Like, I'm so excited about this conversation. It was awesome. Thank you, audience, for even allowing us to be a part of your story as you shared and gave to us the nuggets of wisdom you gave to us tonight. Y'all, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. We are moving into Black History Month. So I will say this: celebrate your Blackness. And if you can, at some point in time this month, upcoming month, give back. If you are working in the STEM field, please hit me up. We are always looking for people to speak to our students because we need to show them that there's representation in these fields. So we have that available. Also, for those that missed, the ladies that missed the living room conversation, we are back. We're going to have another one, I think the third Sunday. Wait a minute, when is the Super Bowl? Second Sunday?
That's the 7th.
Yeah, 7th. Okay, the 7th. So I just want to make sure it's going to be the third Sunday. And we're actually painting 2 queens. We have two different styles. So if you want to participate, it's all about sharing your experience and intergenerational conversation with young and old. So we definitely want to have you all participate in that. Also, celebrate your people. This is a month. Sometimes we forget all of the amazing things that we do daily. Celebrate each other. Give your friend a shout out on Facebook. Talk about something that they're doing good, whether it's in the community or on their job or just as them being good people. So let's take this time and ride this wave of Blackness and celebrate us. I love you all. Thank y'all for allowing me to be here with you all and sharing and laughing and being silly. See you all next week.
So I just want to say we jump right into the topic. We did have a sponsor tonight. For those who do not know, I am a part of a poetry group called Inspired Soul, doing dope things in Northwest Indiana. They are having a Valentine's Day show on February 13th. I shared the link on our page. It is going to be a safe show at the Diamond Center in Gary. Make sure you go out and support amazing poetry, live music. It's a sexy grown affair. Yes, sexy grown affair. So if you're looking for a sexy grown affair that's safe, make sure you check it out and support Inspired Soul. Again, I'll share the link on the page again. Again, I just want to tell y'all thanks for the dope conversation. We hit this from every type of angle. I came in thinking I had studied and I was prepared to talk about this, but you guys came with experiences and great angles, and that's what makes this show great. Again, I'm gonna tell y'all that we would be nothing without our audience. If you guys didn't tune in week after week after week, this show would be nothing. So I appreciate everyone who tuned in. And I cannot wait to see y'all every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, same place every week. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you think this show is dope, please share it and have people watch it afterwards and keep people coming and joining us for the conversation. You guys are dope. So
hey, can we do a red, black, and green Tuesday in February? We are red, black, and green. Okay, we're gonna represent. And everybody and just watching, put on your red, black, and green, take a picture and post it in your comment thing.
Be strong.
We're gonna represent. And we're gonna do the all red Valentine's Day week too.
Yeah, I was gonna say all month long, make sure y'all post back Black excellence. If you guys know Black entrepreneurs or Black people simply doing dope things in our community and nationwide, make sure you shout them out on our page. We will shout them out on the show. We definitely support our entrepreneurs all the time. And yes, we will have a dope Valentine's Day show as only the relationship misfits and Ben can do.
Black Mama, did you sign yourself to sign us out?
No, I wasn't even gonna say that because she straight skipped over me. But you know what?
She did. No.
No.
That's the last though.
I am feeling some type of way, and you know what?
I saw how he was looking at the screen.
You triggered.
I am triggered. I am triggered.
It just look like I'm here.
But that's all right. I see how it is. You know, I know that's because I came down hard on Gary. You know, you still be throwing them little silent shots at me and was gonna skip over me, but it's okay. I concur with everything that you guys said. You know, shout out to my boy, Stoney Jackson there. Man, my boy here, Lucky, aka Lucky Lefty, aka LaRon Sweets. Hey. And I appreciate all the bars that was shared tonight. I won't say comments, I'm gonna say bars, because y'all was all over the place today, and it was really, really interesting, the conversation as it flipped back and forth with a doctor.
Hey, Ben, she threw you a layup when she said Gary and safe in the same sentence.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was not gonna say nothing.
I thought you was gonna get.
You know, I was like, safe. Yeah. And then she tried to say Northwest Indiana. Gary, girl, quit playing.
I represent GI all day.
Put up the picture of Michael Jackson with the pistol.
That's why she had to put the word safe in there, because it's in Gary. But like Kevin say, that's neither here nor there.
Kevin can't say nothing about Gary. He from Harvey.
Man, you know him. All right, y'all, was fun. I'm getting off. We get beat up.
Right.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
See y'all next week.